I am so happy to see you all tonight. I am bubbling over with enthusiasm, with energy, with the desire to really connect with you tonight and help us really call forth and step into miracles. So guys, I am your host, Joan of Angels, and miracles are happening in every moment, and the time is now for us to be conscious of them. And what are miracles but seemingly impossible ideas, dreams, and thoughts that manifest your reality and that can improve your life in many unexpected ways? So what will it take to dream into existence the life that you want? Who you want to be, how you want to live, the world you wish to live in, and the dreams that you wish to fulfill. So this is the Miracle Makers Club. Every week, I am working with miracle activations, miracle awakenings to help us, each and every one of us, step into our destiny. I know that's a big thing. So welcome. And I'm just so happy to see you all. It just really makes my heart sing. Absolutely. So we are going to talk tonight about creating miracles in our life. And we're going to talk tonight about this concept of, does it make my heart sing? So I want to say hello and welcome to all of you, whether you're new. And if you're new, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. Like our page, like me. And reach out. I'm very, very happy to see you all. And we are going to be talking about what it is to make our heart sing. So I'm happy to see you. Let me know where you're from. And, as we're talking about, and the reason I always ask you to tell me where you're from is that I'm sitting here in my sanctuary, the Desert Heart Sanctuary, obviously in the desert, right, in Southern California. I know some of you, there's one of you up in Canada and the East Coast, so all around the country we are, and maybe even around the world, which gives us a wide field of energy and a wide field for our heart singing round the world. And I think I ended one of our last Miracle Makers Club with ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. We were doing like the heart of the earth, the pulsing of it. So I'm happy that you are. Now, let's talk about heart singing tonight. All right. I want to just dive right in, although I do want to say a few things. Yesterday, Sunday. So I came from a background, guys, that was not religious at all. And it was a Jewish background. And we went to temple only on the high holy days, which were, in other words, the sacred of Jewish holidays. And that's when we did our thing. And I had no concepts of ever joining a church or religion, but I have been a part of a metaphysical, spiritual movement for much of my life. And so when I was in my early 20s, after I graduated and I got a master's in counseling from Long Island University, and oh my goodness, I had a broken heart. And my father had died, so I had nothing going on for me on the East Coast. My heart was not singing. But I'll never forget, I met this beautiful woman, Terry, and her daughter. And Terry was studying acupuncture. She had been to London and had trained with the beginning of acupuncture coming to the West to be incorporated in Western medicine. And she had studied with a spiritual teacher, John Roger, the movement of spiritual inner awareness. Now, I had spent my youth kind of knowing that I knew things, but not and studying subjects like astrology, numerology, and tarot at a very young age. And I was brought up in New York City and Long Island, and other people my age were not pursuing numerology, astrology, tarot cards. And I found this the most important thing in the world was to study these things. Obviously, I was different from other people. And I was also following a path of investigation. For what is our life but a journey into really what brings us happiness, what brings us joy, what brings us abundance, love, prosperity, what brings us into alignment with our destiny. Because when we're in alignment with our destiny, then, well, not only will our heart sing, but our toes will. Okay, and our nose will, and every single part of us will sing with happiness and joy, because that's that power of heart singing. So who here has ever had your heart sing? Raise your hand, say, yes, my heart has sung. Okay, so we'll know you have a reference point that you know what I'm talking about. Now, the other day, my daughter was here for 11 days, as she said, it was 11 days. 11 nights and 13 days. I haven't quite figured out. I guess a couple of days she left after dawn. Okay. But we were walking and she said, well, Mom, I was asked to look at, when were you the happiest? When did you experience pure joy? And she was saying, I don't remember experiencing pure joy. Now that set up a real thing inside of me of, well, what is pure joy? What is it to experience pure joy? And so my question to you is, have you experienced pure joy? And would you be, are you willing to share that with us? What is pure joy to you? And I was talking to a 30-year-old who couldn't even remember pure joy. But Mama remembers lots of moments of happiness. So pure joy and happiness and heart singing are kind of aligned. I first heard the concept of heart singing in the early 1980s. So I'm going fast forwarding. So let me step back a little bit. So my friend Terry had been a minister in the movement of spiritual inner awareness. And so every week I would visit with Terry, and she started playing all of these tapes for me of the spiritual teacher, John Roger, Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness. And every week I started listening to these tapes, and I noticed a change in my energy. I was learning things that I thought were like secret mysteries that I started learning about reincarnation. Okay. I started discovering meditation, and I started realizing that there were different levels of existence, things I hadn't really known about, but always suspected. So I was getting my master's in counseling at the Long Island University, C.W. Post College, getting my master's there. My boyfriend had broken up with me. My heart was broken. I was a guinea pig for my friend Terry, because as I was listening to these tapes on John Rogers, she was finding all these Chinese acupuncture points on me and rubbing them and testing on them, right? And one day she took me to New York City to a seminar where people played these tapes of John Roger, and they were booking appointments to see him. And I'll never forget, they said, well, you can't book it. He's coming to town in 2 months, but you, Joan, will not be able to book an appointment with him because you haven't known him long enough. You haven't been attending our seminars long enough. And I had that voice inside that said, you don't know me. And I went home and I went to bed. And in my dream, John Rogers said to me, oh, you're going to have a session with me. Don't worry about it. And sure enough, even though everyone in the New York City branch was very distressed, the home office had booked me an appointment with John Roger, who became my spiritual teacher. And I began to understand that there was a universe outside greater than myself. And I one day went to a seminar and I asked, what should I do with my life? And I was told to go to chiropractic school. And that's how I became a chiropractor. But that is also the beginning of what we're going to talk about now. Because what I discovered, everyone, is that heart singing happens when you actually listen to the guidance that you are being given. All of us have a connection to the divine, our angels, our guides, source, God, whatever you want to call this universal energy. This universal energy is constantly with us, guys. It's here everywhere. And it is here for us to use it. To use it not for selfish reasons, but to use it for that which is what we have come here to do, to fulfill that part of our destiny, because when we fulfill that part of our destiny, we then fulfill other people's destiny too. What do I mean? I mean that there have been moments in my life, all right, where I have known that I was a master teacher for someone else, that I had come into their life so that their life could be transformed by the work that I did, by the healings that occurred, or by the wisdom that was shared. And my dear friends, that is true for you too. That there are moments in your life that you have become the miracle maker for someone else, where that who you are isn't just about you, even though you may not even know it. That your presence, merely your presence, can change the energy in such a way that healings occur. And you'll get a phone call that says, oh my God, I thought about you last night and I had pain. And suddenly, I woke up today and I felt wonderful. What did you do? What I did is I began to see you in the highest possible place and see you healed. So what is heart singing? And when have we experienced it? And what does it mean? Recently, I taught a class on intuition. I called it the Ultimate Intuition Connection Mastery. And it was one of the best classes that I think I've taught in a long time. I don't know, someone else might let us know. But I taught Intuition Connection Mastery. And in the class, we broke down empath, clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, the one about smell, Claire Gustafson, something weird like that, and a couple of others, okay? And I broke it down and we went through it, and everyone got to really make a little journal of what their own intuitive gifts were. It was a great class, okay? Tina Marie says, yes, it was a great class, and it was. And it still is, because it's going to happen again. But in that class, I remember reading that when it comes to being an empath, okay, so what's an empath? Empath is someone who feels everyone else's pain, suffering, happiness, and joy, right? So when it comes to empaths have several qualities in common. One quality they have is that they interrupt everyone because they think they just know the answer. They just have to share it. They know what you're going to say. That's what being an empath is all about. So impetuously interrupting everyone, right? Finishing your sentences. But one of the other qualities of the empath and the highly intuitive is that ability to start to feel oneness and alignment through your heart. So Dr. Sharon always says that the longest journey is from your head down to your heart. The 14 inches, I haven't measured how far mine is, okay? But she's right. But the heart is also the most amazing gift that we have. And when our heart sings, it is a confirmation that all is right in the world, okay? that you've made the right choice, that the destiny you're stepping into is that which is ordained by Spirit, that which was actually ordained before you got here, part of your sacred mission, your journey. It's a confirmation that there is an alignment for you. And so heart singing, hallelujah, 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 heart singing is one of the highest experiences that we can have. And it is beyond joy, because it's that confirmation. So we as spiritual beings and we as intuitives and having these extra special skills that we have, we need confirmations in our environment that we are in the right path. And we sometimes need to have all that gooky stuff wiped away from us, cleared away. That's why we talk about clearing your energy so you can move forward fearlessly. All right, now I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to play a little song for you. This song is one of the things, well, before I do it, I'll tell you the second part of this, okay? So the second component of this is that I also, well, I'll just go ahead and show you the second component. You ready? Okay, good. All right. So why did I show you this right now? When I hear that song, "Oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in," I actually envision a band of angels and all of you, especially when I play it on the show, I actually envision all of us getting ready to march. What are we marching for? We're marching for love. We're spreading our wings. We're expanding our sense of self. We're growing into our destiny. We're opening up our playing field. We're aligning for the highest good of all concerned. Why? Because when we start to circle around the earth, and I have this saying, the angel brigade is calling. When we start circling around the earth, round and round, we actually can drop miracle seeds, seeds of goodness, seeds of love, seeds of compassion and joy all around this planet. And you know it needs it a lot. Okay, so that is something we want to do. Now, what else makes our heart sing? This morning I woke up, all right? Of course, that should make your heart sing, guys. You wake up every day, 365 days a year. So the first thing is, how do you feel when you wake up? Now, when I'm passionate about something, or when I have a mission, when I'm focused on a new class, or when I'm focused, say, on diving in deep, okay, with the Miracle Makers Club, I wake up with such passion that I literally leap out of bed, just like my theme song was Superman, ready to leap over tall buildings faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. And I used to teach this every week in my chiropractic office, in my classes, because that's how I really feel when my heart is really in alignment with what I'm doing. I want to leap over tall buildings faster than a speeding bullet because I'm on purpose. So when we're on purpose is when we awaken that passion. And when we're on purpose is when we can more easily hear the sound of our heart singing. And the second component, say yes to that. So what stands in the way of us hearing our heart singing? And so what stands in the way of that is our preconceived judgments. Maybe we have limitations on ourselves of what's possible or not. Maybe we have concerns about it or worry. We don't know how to interpret it. It could even be too much. So one time I heard my heart singing was in 1980 during a chiropractic relicensing seminar, when I saw this man. I guess he was young then, right? I had just turned 30, so we were young. Saw this young man over there, blue eyes, and I walk up and I heard something. But when I came back the other way and I looked at him and our eyes caught, I heard the Hallelujah chorus. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I swear, I heard the Hallelujah chorus. So I heard it here and I heard it in my heart, both places, and I knew I was going to marry him. All of that happened simultaneously before I even knew his name. All right. So clearing the field. So there's a question I see about self-actualization. Okay. Self-actualization, self-awakening. All of us on this call are on a path of self-actualization. When you start working with groups like Spirituality Gone Wild and Miracle Makers Club and someone by the name of Joan of Angels, that tells me that you are walking on a higher path already of beyond self-care. So it's taking care of yourself in a way that brings you closer to your divine spirit, closer to your mission, closer to your path, or what I call the path of mastery. Now, we're not trained we're not trained on this life to do this. It's a choice that we start to literally, I think of actualization almost as windshield wipers. And all this rain comes pouring at you, or weather, in the form of challenges, confusion, chaos, fear. And we're on our, there we are, and we have these windshield wipers. And as they clear it away, we can see more clearly what is our destiny and what's our path. So this morning, I think I'll start with yesterday. So yesterday I was at Dr. Sharon's and I realized that I was really in bliss. I was really happy. And my day consisted of a dear friend. He picked me up. He chauffeured me in his beautiful Mercedes, and the sun was shining, and we parked the Mercedes next to Fleet's car, which was a Mercedes, and Dr. Sharon's Mercedes is in the garage, and it's a magnificent day in the sanctuary. Fleet is singing my favorite song, Slow Down, You Move Too Fast, and we're talking about bridges. And I sit there and I look outside, and I had realized that if you had told my younger self, the one who went to services as brought up Jewish, that one day I'd be sitting in a spiritual center as an ordained minister and I'd be in bliss, I would have probably thought you were a little nutty, But what I realized was that the bliss was coming from being in my most perfect place in such a high vibrational frequency. And in addition to that bliss coming from being in that high vibrational frequency, just the energy alone of the service, of participating in it. And I realized that the time just literally flows for me because my heart was singing. So when I came home and I was meditating on what was the name of tonight's show the next day, and I flashed on the numerology of 1/11/2021, which is an 8, which is a master spiritual number, I realized that my heart was singing, and I wanted to share the secrets of turning up your heart, even if you don't feel like it. Okay. But I was feeling it. Okay. So all I wanted to do was share heart singing, right? So fast forward to this morning, and I wake up this morning and I sit and I meditate and I kind of get my groove on. But I had a lot of things to do, so I was a little disoriented, and I turn on my computer. And lo and behold, on my computer, there's a brand new computer. It's like a brand new computer. You know, when you get a brand new computer and you open it up and then it starts to tell you about the operating software and it looks gorgeous. You know, there's not one thing on the desktop and they're telling you how to use iPhotos or, iMail. There's no mail, nothing. And I sat there and my energy went like this, okay? The three-dimensional world took me over. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm too busy for this. Oh my God. So I just put it on hold. And I realized, well, this is really horrible. Now look at all the judgments I put on it. This is really horrible. How am I going to go online tonight and tell everyone about how to make your heart sing where my heart just dived? Okay, boom. Look at it. Look at me. And I get in the car and I go and I do my errand and I'm kind of meditating on this. And I made it a point to be especially nice to everyone I met at the car dealership and the car rental, all that stuff. And, I found myself starting to be nice, kind again, not so in my head. And I start visualizing my computer back to normal. I was like, well, what's the miracle I want? Well, the miracle is my computer back to normal. When I get home, and so I started affirming, when I get home, my computer is working perfectly. All is alignment. All my files are there. That's my miracle. And so sure enough, when I came home and I knew enough to see it all perfect, but I also knew it was one of the keys to getting back my heart singing groove. So all of us have, and I did come home and I turned on my computer and here we are. Okay. I am right here with you because my computer is working perfectly. Now, does that make sense? Right? Right. All right. I'm going to take a deep breath and kind of look around, see where everyone is from, and go back to my angels over here. So when I play that song, Oh, When the Saints Go Marching In, oh, when the saints go marching in, it's one of those things that I do to make my heart sing. So one of my secrets, guys, is having a song that really does make me feel my heart is singing. And Slow Down, You Move Too Fast, You Got to Make the Morning Last, Just Kicking Down the Cobblestones is one of my favorite songs, which I got to hear yesterday. And so is Oh, When the Saints. Because Oh, When the Saints, when I see it, and when you see me mentioning it, it means that I'm in this energy of calling all angels, calling all angelic beings, all people who believe that there's something more, and literally fluffing our wings, fluffing our energy, and getting ready to be greater than ourselves, to step into that higher frequency of ourselves that is capable of spreading love across the planet, light across the planet, and becoming a magnet for miracles. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how we make our heart sing. Now, I want to tell you about a few things that have been making my heart sing as well before we move a little bit further. You know, guys, that it's a new year. It's an 8-day in a 5-year. The 5-year is about freedom. So freedom is all about diving deep into your own spiritual essence. Freedom is about having the opportunity to become who you are. It's the willingness to break free, the word free, F-R-E-E, to break away from what's holding us back. You know, I used to be very, very shy and very self-conscious. So if I did something wrong and you were watching me, I'd turn purple and I would become dysfunctional because I'd think you're all watching me and judging me. But as I get older and as we shift, you get me as I am, all 71 and a half years of me, of my wisdom. And I'm not perfect. And I love laughing at myself. So these are keys to shifting our energy. And so if we want our heart to be singing, and we want that confirmation that that which we're doing is on our path, well, the first thing is the absence of heart singing is also a huge key. When I was looking for preschools for my daughter and my son, well, first my daughter, back years and years ago in the early 90s when they were young, I remember that I said, I'm looking for a day school, a preschool that makes my heart sing. And I went to the first one that was one of the most popular ones. And I walked in and my heart thudded. I mean, literally, I felt depressed. So what's that a key of, guys? Right? If you walk in the room and your heart like is sick to your stomach, you know that that's a boom. So preschool 1, boom. Preschool 2, boom. But preschool 3, Bright Star Montessori. I walked in there. I'm not even sure the kids were with me the first time. I don't remember, but I walked in there and I had that feeling I wanted to be. It was like, I wish that I could go to school here. I wish I could go to school. And my heart literally sang loudly. And that was a key that this was the right preschool. Or when I met Mr. Handgarter, who I married, that was a sign to marry him when I was told I was going to marry. So we listen. Now, when we don't listen is part of the issues, part of what could be what I would say is problematic, but that's not true. We have choices, all right? You hear an inclination or a voice or guidance, you have two choices. You ignore it or you follow it. So when we go down the track of ignoring a calling, a prompting, and of course, depending on the seriousness of it, but when we go down on the path of ignoring it, there's usually some consequences, some of them that we see and some of them that we don't see. Okay, so when I ignored that voice that told me that I shouldn't put my tax returns in the trunk of the car because the trunk would open and they'd blow away, and I said, well, that's crazy. I discovered it was crazy of me not to listen to it. So I get trained on when I don't listen to that voice of the divine. Maybe I get bored and restless or find myself hanging out with people that aren't for the highest good. Or it could lead to drinking or drugs or things that might lower your brilliance. Because if we don't listen, then we're in a path of resistance. And Lord knows that path of resistance then makes us heavier and not lighter. So part of the path of miracle making, to be in the Miracle Makers Club, guys. And by the way, you know, I have a group on Facebook called the Miracle Makers Club. And I guess I'm putting it here so that you know a little bit about it. It's a Facebook group. And in the Miracle Makers Club, we post miracles that are happening for us. Just so you know, and I want to make that a bigger group for everyone. And there's other places with the Miracle Makers Club too. So this year, I aligned with Spirituality Gone Wild. Some of you can see it. I aligned with Spirituality Gone Wild. Some of you found me through Spirituality Gone Wild because my guide said it's time to be seen. Stop hiding. It's time to be seen. You are needed on the planet. Now, I know some of you on this call, by the way, have that same calling because we are needed on the planet. So I reached out to Debbie on Spirituality Gone Wild to go with a larger platform. And I said to Debbie, and it was really so delicious, well, what do you think I should share on that program, on that platform of yours? And she said, Joan, you're all about miracles, the Miracle Makers Club. In fact, I wrote a book called The Miracle Makers Club. She said, why don't you launch the Miracle Makers Club on my Untamed Club? So what is the Untamed Club, guys? The Untamed Club is the membership site on Spirituality Gone Wild that has 15 plus, 20 plus what we call co-creators, teachers that are like me but different than me, better than me, the same as me, collaborating with me, coexisting. I teach this, they teach this, we teach this, we teach, all on the path of a journey. And each of us has a different voice, so you respond differently. So the Untamed Club is where you will actually find now the Miracle Makers Club. And what am I doing in the Miracle Makers Club? Well, I'm so happy you asked. Let's see if the link should come up any second here. Join the Miracle Makers Club, experience your life transforming. And that is bit.ly/Joan of Angels is my link, which will actually get you to my membership site on the Untamed Club. And so you sign up, you look for Joan of Angels, you look for the Miracle Makers Club. What do I have in there? I have a program called a Miracle Mastermind Activations, which is a 30 set program of each video has a different aspect of turning up your light, masterminding very bright, taking off that cloak of hiding. And so they're very good. I had probably 4,000 or 5,000 views on them. People loved them. So that is included in the Miracle Makers Club. My weekly miracle report, the weekly messages from the Masters of Miracles. Who are the Masters of Miracles? The Masters of Miracles are those divine beings that have come to me over the years. 2 years ago, they came and asked to be on a deck. And so once a week now, I pull the cards from that deck. And that deck, by the way, is also on my website. But twice every week on Sundays, I pull the message for the week. And this is an intense week, by the way, lots of change. And today is an 8-day spiritual and material mastery. This is the day you start to align your body, mind, and soul to do that which makes your heart sing. So it was really very beautiful that today is an 8-day. It's the day I was doing my show on Does It Make Your Heart Sing? And I had to go through my own process to align my heart, clear it away, see the miracle of my computer coming back to life, 100% perfect, even better than before. And I swear, I think the screen cleaned itself. Okay. So all of that has to do with rebooting. So I encourage any of you who have not yet joined the Untamed Club. This is where you're going to find me and my work. It's only $22 a month. And I actually was about to launch a different membership site for $99 a month. So I would say that the value of this $22 a month is really fantastic. Okay. All right. Yes. So when we have a difficult day ahead tomorrow, I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I do try to check to see without putting my head in the screen. It's kind of, challenging. But yes, let's all look at that. All right. First of all, We don't want to put out that we have difficult days or busy days. In fact, those of you, if you check up on last week's show, you'll hear Dr. Sharon talk about reframing the word busy to I am in production. I am in a creation mode. I am in new ideas, new possibilities, endless options, new creativity, and on and on and on. So the frequency, I would say, is that I am so excited about tomorrow. It is an amazing day filled with opportunities to master challenges, opportunities to dive in and do more, do my life with grace and ease. I have an opportunity to breathe my way through all parts of my day and be better than I was the day before. I see myself successfully completing all the things that I have to do. And in fact, I am putting a bubble of light around myself to make it easy to master all things on my to-do list, because my to-do list is my passion. It's all those things that are part of what make my life productive, happy, complete, and whole. I am productive, happy, complete, and whole. All possibilities unfold before me as I happily, energetically, successfully handle my day. New opportunities that come my way as I listen to the voice of spirit gently guiding me so that I meet the most perfect right people, the right opportunities to unfold my destiny. That's what we ask for every day. And so when I go to bed at night, I lay down and I start to review how the day went. Mondays are easy, especially if I've been talking about it before I get on, on the show here with all my dear friends who I am so excited. So we want to always look and see how we reframe everything for ourselves and others, and acknowledge that even though we may be in a panic like I was this morning, it was like, even though my computer's not working now, even though it would be preferable if my computer is working right so I can take on my big mission, even though I still know that I'm going to handle my day effortlessly and easily with grace and ease. I still know that the work I do can help reach another's heart, help soothe whatever challenges are going forward in them. And in fact, when I work with my clients, and even when I work on this show, the Miracle Makers Club, and I told you I'm so excited you're here with me, I visualize my clients whole, successful, healed, and happy. So when we say I have a client in crisis, we can say I have a client who I am now envisioning happy, complete, prosperous, and whole, healthy, all things working well in their life, that increased ability to manage all areas, financial, medical, physical, nutritional. So let's start seeing one another handling our lives with grace and ease. Let's start seeing our politicians in Washington handle whatever they quote crisis. Let's call it a glitch in the system and say, let's handle things with grace and ease. Let's send smooth, loving, kind, healing thoughts rather than sending out, oh my God, we're in crisis and panic mode. Let's hold that light, knowing that all is unfolding for the highest good of all concerned. Whew. All right. Mother, Father, God, we ask just now that we be filled, surrounded, and protected with the light. We ask for wisdom. We ask for clarity. We ask for understanding. We ask for love. We ask that the earth go through its transition, that this country go through its transition with grace, with ease, with a gentle unfoldment as a vibration leaves and eliminates all that no longer serves, an unfolding and eliminating of all structures that can be gently wiped away, all ways of doing things that keep us stuck, keep us frozen, keep us entrapped. We ask to let that go. We ask to dissolve all fears that keep us stuck. We ask for an awakening within ourselves so that we can hear the call, the voice of spirit guiding us to where we're going. We ask that we can hear the voice of our neighbors, that we can hear their hearts, that we can know that their hearts are aligned for the highest good of the planet, so that we can align with others as we spread seeds of peace and love, miracles, grace, and ease, that we plant these seeds to grow into that which we envision, so that source, miracles, love, higher consciousness grows. Dearest ones, we ask right now that we be allowed to step into that which is our destiny, that we find the way to align our body, mind, and spirit so that we can step into, so that we can activate, so that we can awaken our highest self, so that we can hear our calling, so we can hear the sound of our heart singing. Because when one heart sings, another heart begins to sing, and then another, and then another, and then another. So it is our job to raise up our own vibrational frequency. It is our job to awaken to miracles, to activate our highest vibrational self, to call in the highest good for all concerned, to call in that which is the light. Did you know, dear ones, that it is your thoughts that create that stream of consciousness, your very thoughts? And so this morning, as I was sitting in my car, and I realized, wow, I could create a bad day for myself. And as I drove to the car dealer with my car, I saw two ways my day could go. I saw the day of resistance, where everywhere I went, I told them my story. My computer was wiped out. No files. I'm confused and this and that. And oh, woe is me. I'm overworked and I'm overwhelmed. And oh, my Theas, who would want to be with me? And I saw the day go this way. And I said, is there another path? For you know there is, of course. And there it was. Just so happens it's the path, too, that as I drive by in Palm Springs, there's the angel in the mountain. And I looked up, and that angel said, welcome, Joan. And you are on your way. And I saw that I could go into the dealer, and I could be kind and nice and helpful. I could go in as a beam of light, and I could reshift my day. I could see my computer as being perfect, complete, and whole. And you know it was when I got home. And I started laughing. I started laughing because I know my thoughts create my universe. So when we work with people, let's see them as perfect, whole, and complete. Let's see that our job is awakening and activating them and helping them release that which doesn't serve. Makes sense to me. Releasing that which doesn't serve so that we can then hear the voice and say yes. Why do we want to say yes? Well, I could say that resistance is futile after watching Star Trek my entire life growing up and knowing that the Borgs say resistance is futile. Well, in a certain way it is, because what we resist becomes that thing that's right in front of us. What we are afraid of the most is what gets in our face and slaps us in the face, and we might as well go hide under the couch. When I trained as a therapist, when I went to my master's program to get my master's in counseling, this was the great secret that I learned. Are you ready? I learned that people become therapists because they have issues that they need to learn how to deal with. They go get their degree, their counselors, their masters, their training, so that they can learn how to deal with those issues. We become what we need to learn. So I've spent my entire life turning on people's energies as a chiropractor and as a soul awakening master, as someone whose job is waking up others. So what do I call that? About 3 years ago, I was here in the sanctuary. It was New Year's Eve. And I said the same age-old question. It wasn't quite, what am I here to do? Because I know what I'm here to do. I'm here to awaken others. But I said, how do you want me to do this? And they showed me a picture of me being a soul awakening specialist, an activator of mastery, and a soul awakening specialist. What's a soul awakening specialist? I take you through seeing who you are, why you're here, what's your big mission on the planet, what is your song, and how to keep unfolding what stands in your way. I've taken many people on this journey, and I have two openings right now for private clients. So guys, write that down, because that is how you find me. Let's write it down again. I'm going to try to write it down too for you. HTTPS, the Soul Awakening Session, and the best results are when we work together on a miracle awakening program, soul awakening program, to make these changes. So I do have openings right now. It's the beginning of the year. I've opened up 2 places for 2 people, not together, separate. So if you feel the call for your soul to be awakened, to know why you're here and why you're different, and why you hang out with people named Joan of Angels, right? Then I want you to reach out to me so we can do that together. Because this process of your heart singing, this process of stepping into miracles and clarity, sometimes we all need help. That's all I can say. So I have 2 ways for you guys to work with me. Number 1, I have 2 openings for private sessions for the Soul Awakening sessions, the Soul Awakening coaching, where I literally act as your guide and we really help you get to where you want to go this life. Because I don't want you to give up your dreams. I don't want you to come over here and go, well, it was a hard life. And when you get to heaven, you go, it was too hard for me. No, I want you to be able to say, I know what I'm here for. And I finally had that opportunity to do it. So the other way of working with me is joining the Miracle Makers Club. And both, by the way, they're not prohibitive of each other. The teachings in the Miracle Makers Club and the 5-day challenge, I forgot to mention, in the Miracle Makers Club also is very good. 5 days of a challenge to really get you started, a jump start. In fact, I jump started my miracles when I did that class. So please, I really encourage you to join me in the membership site. More and more classes are coming on board. Be a charter member with me. And I would love that. All right, so let's see. I want a little recap. So just checking in with all of you. And so our heart singing is very important. And today, an 8th day, numerologically, is a good day to check in with, well, is my heart singing? What do I need to do to hear my heart singing? Second question. And the third is, what have I been doing to resist my heart singing? Or to resist when I hear my heart singing? So in other words, when you are being encouraged to take the higher path, but you go, oh my God, it's going to be too much work. I don't know if I want to do that. Like I almost said when I heard that call to paint 33 angels in 30 days, you want to know my first response? Oh my God, that's so much work. Or when Dr. Sharon asked me if I wanted to come and do the readings every Sunday, and it was like, oh my God, that's a commitment. So much work. Little did I know that it was in that commitment that I found my bliss and my heart began to sing. When I wake up on Sundays at 5 a.m, and I start to go into meditation and hear instructions from the masters of miracles of what they want me to tell you. And I am going to tell you, 5 a.m, I get up, I get my coffee made, I grab the shower, I go get my coffee, I start putting on my makeup. Oh my God, I go sit down. Oh no, then I get dressed. Now it's like, oh my God, I'm still half in and half out of this body of mine. I go sit down. I start meditating. I grab a pen. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then before you know it, I run to my computer and I'm like back in that zone of my heart is singing. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. All right, guys. I've told you how to find me. I've told you how to work with me and how to love on me. I taught you how to get your heart singing. We did a little guided meditation, and I'm going to leave you until next Monday. Do me a favor, guys. Share this out with your friends. Bring them to the Miracle Makers Club. Join our tribe. And again, I told you, if you're one of those people who wants that session with me, make sure you reach out. All right. So here we go. That's it for this week, friends. I love you all. Let me know how you love my work and what you'd like to see more of. And I will see you all next week, 7 p.m. Pacific time. This is the Miracle Makers Club, hosted by Spirituality Gone Wild and Joan of Angels. Have a great week.